Is it just me, or do you find that you're talking to less and less people as the years go by? In this internet day and age, I feel as though I'm chatting to people less and less, and certainly in a less meaningful way than I used to. And I don't think that's a good thing. It's as though we communicate in a kind of abbreviated way. And I think that's down to the internet. And in this video, that's what I want to talk about. I don't know about you, but it strikes me that 80% of the things I talk about these days is done online. I chat to people online most of the time, or if it's not online, via something like Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, or even just texting. And don't you think that's rather sad? It strikes me that the art of conversation is dying as we spend more and more time talking to people online. And it seems that we seem to do more small talk than we ever did. I don't remember quite when it came about, but over the years I've found that, I don't know, all I seem to do is small talk with people, ask them about what they think of the weather, how are you, but never anything where you have this conversation that goes in depth. And I wonder whether it's because we get this information overload all the time from the net. As soon as we wake up these days, we seem to be bombarded. We'll pick up our phone and we'll look at Facebook to see what's going on. We'll check our emails. We'll do all that kind of thing. And the problem with it is that that's how we digest most of the information we get these days. Many of us read our newspapers online. I don't personally, because I don't have a newspaper, but you know what I'm saying. Sadly, I find that it's intruded in my life as well, because I don't know about you, but my children like to text me, and infrequently as it happens. But it seems to me as though that's the preferred way for the younger generations. Now, I personally don't like it. I hate texting and only do it when I have to. But when it's regarding something like talking to my sons, I want to do that either face to face, which is hard seeing as I live 200 miles away from them, or at least on a phone where I can hear their voices. Because I kind of miss that. I don't know, it seems like we talk to people online and we chat away. I mean, I've got friends that I've never ever met in real life online, and they're good people. But it would be really nice to see what they actually sounded like. And this was brought back to me last week when I met a fellow YouTuber called Tim Childers. I'd seen him online and I'd watched his channel and I listened to him talk, and that was great. But do you know what was better? Actually meeting him in real life, shaking his hand, sitting down, drinking a coffee and shooting the breeze and talking about our lives, or talking about the things that we come up against as we're building our channels. And that was really nice. And I got to know over a couple of days, I got to know Tim in a way that I never would have just by watching his videos. And I feel the same when we're talking to people online all the time. I'm not being funny, but my parents have been gone for well over 20 years now, nearer 30. And I miss not having them to talk to. And in a way I feel the same about other people in my life who I don't see anymore, don't talk too much anymore, although we still will leave a message for each other on WhatsApp and all that sort of thing. But I just kind of think we seem to be missing out. You see, the thing about texting and the thing about WhatsApp and the thing about all those things, as handy as they are, as useful as they are, they seem to be missing out on something. And I think what it is that we kind of no longer have meaningful conversations in the way we used to. We don't kind of talk things through the way we used to, and we don't certainly share our feelings as we used to, because I think the one thing about a good conversation is that it doesn't rely on a soundbite. It doesn't rely on a quick 2-second text that you click a button on. No, it doesn't do that at all. But what it does is it allows you to open up and share your emotions and let them out there. And I think when you do that, that's when we find out the real person. We get emotions, not facts. We get valued and not like a little headline. A good conversation to me brings value to your life. It brings a connection that you don't kind of have when you're doing it online or on text. And for that reason alone, I think meaningful conversation still has its place in the world. And as years go by and we do less and less of it, to me that's a worry. Because are we going to become, down the line a long way, a bunch of automatons who don't really know how to talk to each other anymore? Because that's how I feel it's going. And I'm sad at that. And I miss sitting down, cup of tea, cup of coffee, and just having a chat and putting the world to rights. I used to love doing that. But we don't seem to do it anymore, and all the important stuff that we talk about these days seems as though we do it online. And for me, it doesn't really cut the mustard. Conversation brings something extra. It's as though we let our guard down a little bit. And that is not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to share your thoughts and let people see who the real you is, or are. Is that right? I don't know. Your grammar's gone out the window. But we need, I think, to open ourselves up more. It used to be something we did all the time. And yet, in this day and age now, it seems like we've become soundbite people. And that is such a shame. For me, as you can tell, I like to have a little chat. And being the heart on the sleeve kind of character that I am, and I find that when I talk, I say what I think and I say what I feel. And in doing that, the person that I'm talking to generally does the same. And I come away from it feeling that I've had something of value. I seem to say the word value ever such a lot these days. And that's what I feel we're missing when we use all of the other ways we can communicate. I think because we can communicate so easily across the world these days, we take it for granted and we use that a lot. And I'm not sure that's the way that is best. So what I'm saying is, I suppose, let's have more meaningful conversations, especially with our friends and our family, because I would hate for that to go away and for us to end up just spouting little 1 and 2 line small talk conversations. If this video seems to have made any sense to you, then could you do me a favour and give it a like? That will help the video get out to more people. And of course, at the end of the day, I'd like that because I get to communicate with somebody else. It's just one way that more people will get to see the video, and hopefully it will get somebody else thinking, do you know what, I haven't spoken to so-and-so for a long time. I'll give them a call. And I'll tell you what, even a phone call is always appreciated. And talking about meaningful conversation, when was the last time you had one with yourself? And that's most important too, because if you can't give you a pep talk, who's going to? And if you click up there, there's a video that will explain exactly what I'm talking about. I'll see you next time.